Hello and welcome, and today is that of the 15th day of March. It is also Crypto Day. Welcome to this video looking at Revolution VR, formerly known as Voxels, code RVR. The market has been open now for about 15 minutes. And let's take a look at some of these early moves. Takes about 5 minutes to go down to a low of 1,631. Less than 3 minutes, or around 3 minutes later, rather, it goes up to 1966, a difference of 335 basis points. That's over 20% in less than 4 minutes. And then over a span of about 7 minutes, price action drops from the 1966 handle down to 1744, a difference of 222 points, but 15% volatility, which is the difference of price divided by the low. That's the way I calculate volatility. And I just found out about this market opening around here. Now, I knew it was going to, and I searched every so often, and I mean, this was just after dinner time, so it worked out that I could see this movement. Now, I wasn't able to get my orders in, I don't think, until roughly around 11 minutes after, or 8 minutes ago. I have my first sell order in just below the 2,000 handle, which is what the high here is. Well, 1966, a hair above that 1966 high, like 1990 something. Again, up in these 2,400 areas, just in case. How much day trading will be available within the short-term time frame? Well, if you look at just the last, even the intra-period minutes, say this green candle, high 1,800, low 1,744, difference of 56 points. That is greater than 3% in just this 1 minute alone. And well, each of these next two following minutes showing very similar volatility as well. The volatility is going to basically come and go probably as decent sized up moves and or down moves should occur. I'm guessing that the next significant move, either breaking above resistance around 2,000 or support, which in this thing, I guess this doesn't really count. Or does it? I don't know what this is, but Voxels was around 1,600 before. I think that the next significant move seems to be holding pretty well. What I hope for and what I think is sort of two different things. Because what I hope for is that this thing just goes way high, does very, very well, and maybe can go up 10, 20, 50, 100, 200x. And that's not what I expect. I expect there to be extreme volatility in the crypto space with major up and down moves along the way. So I'll play it out from there at that point. But I could always be wrong. The markets can fade lower, and that's just how it goes. I do not look at any of the fundamentals for why one coin is so good than the others, and the ones that I do, because I know there's 84 million Litecoin in maximum existence. I just know some of the quick basics of that fundamental analysis portion. Let's take a look at Nexus on the 1 minute time frame, as it had a nice little push from 24,000 Satoshi at 5:45 p.m. Eastern time, going from 24.8 up to 27.7, a difference of almost 30 basis points, or about 11% move in this point. And when I see a market go down below the 18 average of lows like this, when there's this large gap room available from this point and you're just going to make a higher low anyway, well, so be it. It makes this low, it makes a higher one, makes a higher one, makes a higher one there after that. So when it breaks this resistance short term, I'm not surprised of another leg higher. And now we're seeing within this short-term activity how it's correcting within this previous level of resistance. that if it can continue on doing anything like showing continuous higher lows, any type of beautiful pattern within this resistance established of around 29 change, then I would be thinking, and there we go, a nice little move above the 18 maybe, that this would be ready to go. But I want to see more longer term data. This is 1 minute. I'm almost talking about day trading here, something well, now and then I guess. Nice little consistent uptrend, this Fibonacci line. Well, I mean, so many areas were resistance and support, but obviously it's been getting above it. The lows this morning at 21. It's been able to get up to, again, 29, so a difference of about 8,000 basis points. That's a pretty decent gain of over 20%. Daily chart. Market has this big leg lower, breaks down below this key level, resists it, but not much of a move. And in 2 days, it goes from 16K up to 48K. That's a 3x move. I did sell once at this top area, and then I bought back at this bottom last night. So I'm glad that I bought this back, seeing that it is starting to roll over from the down, that is. Roll over, change in direction, whatever. But getting above here, where do I want to sell next? One reason I want to sell back at this previous level around 43,000 is because I have a full amount, plus a little bit more based on the buyback, of NXS that I normally would have for a position. One reason I don't want to sell here is because if it can show a bullish pattern, which is come back to a key line like this, hold the 18 average very nicely, then I'm looking at a move up to this previous resistance. And then one part of me says, well, okay, I realize why you would want to sell here at 45. But maybe instead of selling once at 45 and once again at, say, 80, why not sell twice at 80? You know what? Sometimes I should. Because if you're very confident that a level like this is going to be little to no resistance, but for me, I'm just going to sell, I'll most likely sell at this high like I normally would, just in case this market does top here. And then, of course, I'll look to always buy back at a very much of a decent gain along the play. Let's show you the spreadsheet that I am using, which is the one that tracks all of these coins. RVR is now, or was, that of voxels. So within the NXS, it closed the day. Right now it's 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. This data is like 6:55 p.m. Eastern time. So at this stage, 13.58 was the price. I bought it back yesterday at 11.55, which is very, very sweet. As far as some of these market movers today, EMC2 down 20%, but it had a huge gain yesterday. I sold this at 20.68 against that of Litecoin down to 16.53 already. This cloak buy at 49.07, well, I could have got cheaper, and if it goes down much lower, I will. This buy at 8.33, pretty much the price it is now. 11.55 buy on, and I already went over that one. Selling SLS, Salus at 53.56, now at 45.74. And selling NEM at 28.01. It's already down to 22.71 after its move. I haven't put game credits on here, but I did end up buying that for that of Litecoin. I gotta see why okay. And what I've done is, whenever I make a sale, like for example NX, these ones in here, NXS, I'd sell 24 of those coins, and the amount of Bitcoin that I received for selling it, I ended up buying 0.47619 Litecoin with it, which is the exact amount of trade. What I do is, after making a sale, I'll copy amongst the platform how many Bitcoins entered into my balance, and then use that exact amount, so therefore the Bitcoin numbers really don't change after the two transactions, and then get Litecoin. So the buyback, I bought 32. So I got 8 more than I had before. And on this one here, I have about 61 more. But if you look at the amount of Litecoin, last time I received 0.476 Litecoin for the trade. And by getting 8 more, I'm getting it for about 0.1. Better than 0.1 cheaper. Now this I put in as a full entry. So this is how much I normally would put into a entry position, 0.82 Litecoin value, or basically under $200. And I bought 110 of them, but when I sell them, I don't want to confirm what this buyback would be in here. And I could just put a buy here first, but if I'm looking to, when I'm using this type of formula, I want trade per trade, because let's assume I get a sale on game credits. I like to sell about 22% of what I have when I start selling after my buy. So that would work out to about 24, 25 of them, but 24. Therefore, I would write in 24 out when it comes in, the amount of Litecoin that come in, and then look for buyback after buyback. So with Core, I sold it twice. I sold 13 at 562. I sold 15 at 3965. 3965. Where's Core now? 1727. Not that many points away. I like to get half off if I can, but that would mean I need this to go below 15. Okay, so now let's take a quick look at RVR again, because it's been many minutes since I take a look at it. 1741 is the price. And it's, yeah, we're just hanging in there, see how it does. And I guess there's not much more to talk about that one. But when it comes down to it, it's major volatility. This is PivX. When you can have situations in just normal intra-month moves where you have markets go from 91,000 down to 24,000, almost a 4x loss, get more of it back by getting up to 140. And this is nothing compared to some other ones for percentage gains and losses, but just going over a standard one. So therefore, if you're like playing in here, you got a whole bunch at 80,000, now you see it's at 47, and it's down almost half. And it could go down even to these lower levels, and maybe even fill in maybe at around 11 and 10,000 and then shoot back up again. But the whole point of this is playing through each of the moves. And in situations like PivX, since the market has topped, the buybacks in here, some of them got sold up here. Then what you sell here, you can buy back down below the 18. Buy session below here. Markets get above. There's your sell positions. Buying in here. And if you're just holding and waiting for the big rallies to happen, and then when the markets go lower, just adding a little bit each time. And if you're really confident or aggressive with one level, maybe adding decently at some point. But throwing that part aside, waiting through this entire decline from 90,000 down to 20. That's from the start of September to the start of December, 3 months with very little sell opportunities. But even in this bear market, have your sell order here in on November the 28th. Then you can sell maybe at 60 and buy back easy. Then you're just, if you're fortunate to be able to buy in here. If your orders hit, congratulations, of course, and then all the selling up here, and of course, since then, it's been basically buying. There's going to come a time where it's going to be selling again. So for me, with all of these type of codes, I'll finish it off with Coin because it's been extremely aggressive. Is just hold through these weights, buy on the dips, and then when the peaks come, just sell. Because in here, same thing, markets go down all the way through the end of the year in 2017. Then December starts, you go from 57 Satoshi up to 674, better than a 10x move. And it's been declining ever since. So you get a whole bunch of sells here, buys back. figure you do this and markets move like this for 12, 18, 24 months, the profit potential that you can make is wild. So I'm going to stick with this, see how well this goes, and thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.